Coming up right now, Mile High cops are struggling to patrol their streets, and now they're offering residents a backup plan when they dial 911. We'll tell you about it.
Also coming up, Graceland was rumored to be going into foreclosure until the FBI got involved. More on the attempted scam to take over Elvis's legendary home.
A little bit later on, a former housewife calling out a top fashion designer. Find out why her trip to the House of Chanel didn't go as planned.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, and we are welcoming you, of course, to our midweek forecast, but midweek show. How about that? And get out of the weather brain.
Mitch has been doing the weather
Yes.
for our friends up north.
So,
Yes.
so there we are with that. We're thankful that we have you here.
Yes.
Sunny skies everywhere, including Matt. Well, you know, hey, listen, the summers when everybody goes to theme parks, and Matt, you're all about the theme parks.
Yes.
Any trips you got planned? Or?
Well, I think I'm getting a preview of the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Magic Kingdom that replaced
Splash Mountain.
So I'm excited to see that, though I've heard some mixed reviews on it, that the story isn't really in the ride, that it was more just the animatronics and everything look amazing, but the story's not there.
So basically, because they took over, they had to work with what they had.
Yeah, they didn't change any of the ride layout. They just changed the theming and they added some more stuff in there.
In the
but
gift
it's
shop,
the same
I'm
layout.
sure.
Oh, it goes right. You exit
of
right
course.
to the gift shop. We made sure that was open.
It's more of an update than a redo.
Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so, right? I've been seeing this a lot, this story lately, where there's been a huge rise, a spike in cancer cases, colorectal cancer
Oh,
cases,
really?
specifically for people younger than the age of 55. They're seeing record numbers. They've spiked more than 20%. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Colorectal cancer used to be something where, 60s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
that would be your concern. Now it's people between the ages of 30 and 50. That is the big concern.
That's kinda scary, yeah.
They've found two possible links to an increase in cancer. One is an increase in sugar in your diet if you're consuming a lot of sugar and very little fiber, and also energy drinks.
All right.
Possible links. I'm not
Okay,
saying those
now,
are the
it's both of
causes,
us.
but it could
Yeah,
be
no.
something where it is
finish that.
compromising your immune system to a certain point where it's not allowing it to fight off
I could
certain
buy into
things.
that.
Yeah.
I can buy into that. I think there was always a stigma about colon checks, getting your colon
Yes.
checked.
Thanks, Katie Couric.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've made it easier if you come from a family or know what do they call it when you don't have it in your family?
Genetic
disposition, or maybe like my dad never had any issues. So they send you this box, and I'll just leave it at that. It's the most embarrassing thing.
You know what's in the box.
Yeah, I know. Dropping that thing off.
And you have to look them in the
Hold
eye
on,
when you
I
do
gotta
it.
finish that sentence. Excuse me. Dropping that thing at the UPS
Right.
place. All right.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to even tell you how.
No.
But it's
I
so much
got you.
easier, and there's no reason that you should not be able to do it. They make it
Yes.
easier. And I'll tell you the story off the air because it has no way to be.
Don't you wonder who has to open up those
Yes.
boxes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want
God
that job.
bless.
I will
Yeah.
tell you this. I got a phone call from him and said we're gonna have to do it again. And hand it
You
out.
had to do over?
I don't want to talk
You
anymore
had
about
to
it.
do
I didn't do. But hey, good news is I don't have it.
Thank God
So,
for that. Anyway.
So all joking aside, get it checked, and that is alarming though if you
Yeah.
actually think about that.
Exactly.
And it is one of those things people don't want to do it,
No.
you know, because it is something. All right, we go now. If you're in the Mile High City, look even higher in the air because Denver cops there have launched a new program that's going to include the use of drones as a tool to help folks with 911 calls. The police force there in the Mile High City recently saw their funding just cut by millions. The department was defunded to pay for the thousands of illegal immigrants who were sent to the state. Now the department is struggling to actually keep up with demand and not going to rely on a $100,000 grant from a local police foundation to start a drone program. Here's what's happening. In the event that a drone is sent to a 911 call, the device will be able to determine how serious the situation is and if actually cops need to show up. It also helps out with recon missions of letting the police officer know what's happening there. But the bigger issue is what I said initially. Millions cut from
Yes.
police departments.
And here's the issue. I think that the drone is a great helpful tool in addition to having your police force. But to rely solely on a drone to show up to a 911 call, I think you're jeopardizing your citizens. I think you're risking the safety of everybody in your city.
I think that too. And if you go to a police situation and there's a gun involved and the guy has already shot somebody, you're going to shoot the drone just as easy.
That's
I
a
mean,
great
think that as
point.
well. But I mean, I guess they can't worry about that. I could see it helping. It's a shame that this cannot be a replacement. It's obviously a Band-Aid and also helping. But a lot of these, if you remember a few years ago, we were talking about let's just get rid of all the cops. Let's defund the police and go privatize. And I think this is what is happening outside of cutting out the police department.
We're seeing the repercussions of all of that
If
action.
the situation was bad enough, couldn't they just crash the drone into whatever's happening down there to break it up maybe?
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah,
I mean,
or they could
if it was bad enough, they're just slam it
drop
into it.
smoke bombs.
Yeah,
or something. Like that.
I mean, it's got to be able to do something than just sit there and look at everything.
Yeah, I do
That's
think
true.
they come in handy in like a hostage situation or whether you don't know if
100%.
somebody's armed or not, because I think that helps, police responding to any kind of situation. In another bizarre twist involving the rumored foreclosure of Graceland, we've now learned an alleged scammer has reached out to claim responsibility for trying to illegally take ownership of Elvis's legendary home. As with most scammers, it's unclear whether the person who emailed a cable news outlet is actually the one behind the scheme. Graceland was set to go up for auction under the pretext that the late singer's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, failed to pay back a $3 million loan she'd secured from an investment firm before her death. And the investment firm, who claims to have loaned her the money, said she used Graceland as collateral. But actress Riley Keough, Elvis's granddaughter and heir to the estate, sued to protect the home from the auction block. The FBI was then brought in to follow up on alleged crimes of identity theft involving the late Lisa Marie and this said investment firm. Investigators were able to track the scheme back to Uganda from an email chain.
It's incredible. And just as easily, you'd think, how did this even get this far? The notary says, I've never met Lisa Marie Presley in my life, and this is obviously forged. It seems like it could have stopped there instead of getting to the next day.
Yeah.
But this is actually, this scam has actually, stadiums, like huge stadiums, and like big, how would people know just how stupid you are? And you had to be from Uganda, not knowing how big Graceland is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
This might raise a red flag.
Right.
It's a national historic landmark.
Right. You're going to pick a mansion. Graceland, probably not the best one to pick.
No, I'm glad it happened, though. Let me tell you why. Because what if this happened just like to regular folks?
Which it does all the time, by the way. It's a terrible trend.
So it could happen if it can get as far as it did with Graceland and baseball stadiums as well. So keep that in mind. And there is basically where you can get a protection on
your property.
I hear all the commercials about it all the time, but now you see that it's actually real. So we'll see.
Bethany Frankel claims she's been banned by a luxury fashion brand after she exposed its insane dress code. The former Real Housewives of New York star says she was recently refused entry to a Chanel store in Chicago because she was dressed too casually. When she was told she could not enter, Frankel was wearing a sweaty t-shirt and admitted she was not looking her best. However, the store's staff insisted it wasn't about the way she looked, but rather that she hadn't booked an appointment. The 53-year-old claims she returned the following day dressed head to toe in Chanel and was allowed in without an appointment.
So she went Pretty Woman on him, basically. Is what it is. Only Julia Roberts could play that off. I think this is a play I've never gone to, which I probably never will. But I would imagine they do take. You have to do an appointment, and it sounded like she was a little upset. Like, I am 100% sure she either alluded to or maybe said the words, "Don't you know who I am?" That sort of thing.
Guaranteed. Yes.
And that's my own speculation, but I guarantee you something like that happened because automatically, what did they do?
Cell phone.
And let's see what I can get for free.
Yeah.
And we do it. No one cares. Right? All right. The woman, if I was a soap opera star, I would be the Susan Lucci of television. If always up, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, right? Well, she actually has known, of course, Erica Kane on All My Children. She said she actually turned down an offer from ABC to be the next Golden Bachelorette.
Really?
She looks fantastic.
Oh,
Look at
she
that.
does.
77 years old. She's the former soap opera star. She says that the network reached out. She said no. She says she actually enjoys watching the show, although she says she likes watching reality TV. She ultimately wanted to pass on it. ABC announced earlier this year that Joan Vavos, who appeared as a contestant on the Golden Bachelor during Jerry Turner's season, would be the very first Golden Bachelorette. No word on a return date for the new season. We do know that when it is back on the schedule, the new 90-minute episodes will air on Wednesday, so we can count on that, but not with Susan Lucci. And what was it, 3 months? The Golden Bachelor already, they broke up.
Yeah,
so
3 months,
even at that age, yeah, things are very short, so keep that in mind.
I made it 3 months.
So far, you're
So
far.
good.
The 3-month mark.
We'll keep the mat meter going.
We'll keep the mat meter going.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to tell you about what is the world's best airline.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Trending stories right now. When planning a trip, you can't guarantee your flight won't be delayed, your bag won't disappear, or you won't have a nightmare neighbor next to you. But you can try and make the best of it by choosing an airline you trust. Qatar Airways consistently places high on a number of global airline rankings. Now, after surrendering the top prize to Air New Zealand back in 2023, it has once again been named the world's best airline. The annual Airline Excellence Awards rate carriers using 12 criteria that include safety, the age of the fleet, serious incidents, innovation, plane design, and passenger reviews. Qatar Airways was #1 in many of those key areas, and the passenger reviews scored the airline ahead of all the others for consistency and service. I think that is the key when it comes to consumers lately, consistency. If I go to your airline, if I go to your restaurant, if I go to your grocery store, is it consistent?
And you talk about airlines too. You think about, because your flights, you're going to be on different planes every single time. You're not going to do that. I think a lot of it too, and we were discussing, just even as the flight attendants show, they're dressed nice and classy. I think that kind of sets the stage somewhat.
It makes a difference.
I think it really does. Like if I see somebody, like I'm like, all right, I need to, this is a classy place. I'm going to act classy. I mean,
it might be on a better behavior.
Better behavior. I think it has something to do with it. But in an age where too customer service and satisfaction, it seems like sometimes airlines like, well, we'll get you there, don't you worry. We'll determine if you're going to get there, and you're just left alone in a city sometimes because flights are canceled and so on and so forth.
I think you get what you pay for sometimes.
And that's another good point. Exactly. Gen Z at it again, bringing back a dead millennial trend. The younger generation is gravitating towards golden goose shoes that are designed to look all scuffed up and dirty.
Okay.
Fashion retailer Coggles explained that the signature pre-scuffed style has been done to demonstrate an attitude of I don't care, rather than just looking sloppy. While the dirty looking shoes had their moment with millennials, they're starting to gain traction with Gen Z. Last summer, took off this year. Golden Goose shoes, get this, they start off at $565 to reach up to $2,300. Most parents, no, they're not thrilled when they find out that their kids are spending this much money on dirty-looking sneakers. And I think even Nike just came out with one that it looks like you stepped in mud. Like it's literally painted on the bottom of it and all scuffed up and looks like an old school bus, like a dirty, rusted school bus, and they're selling them like crazy.
Of course they are.
It is something different, and to me, I kind of like that trend, but I'm not paying $500 for shoes.
Well, that's my next question. I get that you can save your money and buy whatever you want. I think that's great. I encourage that. But what millennial, what Gen Zer has $600 to drop on a pair of Golden Goose shoes?
You're right, and that's a lot. Yeah, the Golden Goose is.
Where are you getting $2,300 to buy a pair of those shoes?
And also we're seeing a lot where they're not buying homes either. There's like everything's kind of temporary. So it's called a trend for a reason. So maybe this will go away. This is true.
A man's attempt to get the name of a popular soda brand tattooed on his arm backfired after it spelled a word with far less sugar involved. According to a Reddit post, the unnamed body art recipient wanted the word Sprite tattooed on his arm, only for the artist to accidentally ink Spite on an illustration of a soda can. I love my Spite can, he says, whose catastrophe had forum users in hysterics. The original poster also encouraged readers to share other garbage tats they love, prompting a flurry of responses.
No regrets is what I always think of. Remember that? To me, though, that's almost ironic.
Yeah.
Somewhat. It seems like it's cooler that it says spite on it.
Than it says
Otherwise,
Sprite, yeah.
didn't look all that great of a tattoo. But we keep talking about tattoos, and they're not cheap. Number one. But
No.
if you love Sprite that much.
Yeah, and he apparently he signed off on the design, so I don't know whether there was a misfire
true.
between the design and the guy just forgot about it when or gal was doing it, or if it was truly on him.
I think he wanted it to say spite, and then like, I'm not going to admit it.
Oh God, look at that tattoo! What a mistake. Okay.
All right, it's the latest workaround. So move over quiet quitting. Millennials have devised a new way of playing hooky at the workplace, and it's called quiet vacationing. 30-something office workers are taking time off under the pretense that they plan working remotely. And according to a recent Harris poll, millennial workers said that they took time off without informing their bosses. And according to research, nearly half of the surveyed responses, including 61% of millennials and 58% of Gen Zers, say that they actually felt anxious about asking for personal time off. I can understand that. I don't think it would ever go over because you really did not go on a vacation unless you take 10,000 pictures and show everybody how great your life is while you're on vacation, too.
And we've all worked with those people who've called out sick only to post the fact that they're on a plane headed to Europe somewhere.
Absolutely.
The vacation blues.
You can't anymore.
It started early.
I'm up in the air with like, okay, I get it. If you can effectively do your job on a computer.
Sure.
But the thing is, when you're on a vacation, you're not given 100%. No. And I think that's what it comes down to. Bosses need to learn more about objective management, which is, all right, this is the project. This is when and what needs to be done. And these are some of the variables that I need you to stay within. Otherwise, go at it. And it allows a lot of freedom for the employee or whoever to be able to accomplish those goals.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that these employees have the freedom to work from home, so they don't necessarily have to report to a boss, because I'd find it hard just to disappear for 3 weeks and do your job from home when you're, out touring Europe and, Italy and whatnot. And also, can we get the job done in less time? 4 to 6 hours? I feel like there's this mandatory 8-hour workday, which seems completely
archaic.
Archaic, thank you, yes.
I agree with you. And again, it goes back to that, look, this is what I need done, and these are the variables that I want. And, I think you're going to have a happier employee as well. And in return, the employer will feel better about it, just as so long as, you can't feel jealous for somebody to do it. It's like, I figured out how to do my job this way effectively. So I'll be about being effective, I guess, right? And we'll be most effectively when we come out. Matt's going to give us the Is It True about mosquitoes.
Ooh.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and welcome to Is It True This Week? Now, I'm going to start out by asking you guys, so there's a rumor out there, is it true there are no mosquitoes at Walt Disney World? There's been a long-standing rumor that the Walt Disney Company somehow can control the mosquito population. Many headlines were circulated in the early 2020s, such as, why are there no mosquitoes at Walt Disney World? Another person said that mosquitoes are banned from Disney. You won't see any while you're there. So, wait, hang on, guys. I got an expert on this, too. I got an expert I'm calling in on this. Hang on just a second, because this person used to take me there all the time. So let me make sure.
All right. So Matt is getting an expert on the line here, and we're finding it.
Hey, Mom.
Mom.
Yeah. Hey, you're on the show. So you used to take me to Disney like all the time, right?
Yeah.
There's a rumor out there that there's no mosquitoes there. What do you say?
I beg to differ. I've got the bites. And I can prove it.
All right.
All right. So you say it's true they have mosquitoes out there.
Oh, they have more than they need.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Mom. Call you later. Love you. Bye.
All right. So Mama Doolittle says no.
So overall, what do you guys think?
I say they do something to control it. I think there's some kind of speaker, because I've heard of like a noise that emits. I've heard that rumor, and they have them for backyard. So I say, they do something.
I'm with Mitch on this one.
So overall, it is false. There are mosquitoes at Disney, but they do use a mix of pesticides and natural ways to get rid of them, such as you'll see bat houses all over the park area, and they try to get rid of the standing water as quick as they they can. They have over 86 miles of canals, service roads, fire break areas, power lines, all that stuff that they have to take care of.
Okay.
That is a good point. It seems like they should develop a character, though, that is a mosquito, and then they can go,
had a-
oh,
Look, there's little Timmy. I can't kill him.
So it is false, but they
False.
do control their
Okay.
pests out
Okay.
there.
All right,
and
so
one,
yes and no.
one more, is it true? So Will Smith has had an interesting roller coaster of a career and personal life lately.
Yes.
But are the rumors that he will be playing the beloved Mrs. Doubtfire, which of course was made famous by the late great Robin Williams. Don't forget, he also replaced him in the Aladdin reboot.
Oh,
which
that's
is-
right.
So what do you guys think?
Well,
Is it
I
true or
say
false?
just based off that, I can't, especially with what's been going on. I say no. There's no way that he's going to take that's iconic role.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Robin Williams added so much to it. I can't see anybody taking over.
Yeah, I'm going to say thumbs
False,
down on that
thumbs
one.
down. Yeah.
That is indeed false.
Okay.
Mrs. Doubtfire is safe for now.
Now,
For now.
For now.
you know, and speaking of Aladdin, wasn't there a big thing with Robin Williams that he made up so much of his lines that they had to go back and kind of make him a writer, contributing to that. So.
And isn't he the one that actually kind of was able to foretell AI? And he's got a specific stipulation that his likeness and voice cannot be
Look at
used in
that. Yep.
future projects.
Good for him.
The only thing they were allowed to use it on was the 100-year Disney special, where they got special approval from his family to use a direct quote voice from one clip of that scene.
Interesting. Well, see, Matt knows all about
Yeah,
the
he should
Disney. Anything Disney he knows about.
He's our
that.
expert.
All right, and work on the mosquito.
I'll get on that,
I think because
yeah.
that could be.
Your
they could
mom
make a
was
lot of money.
fantastic, by the way.
Don't prep the
She
ego
needs
on
to
that.
be a, she might need to be a contributor here on the show.
We don't
All
have
of our is it trues.
we don't have a dump button, so it's going to be.
All right. Thank you there, Maddie. Check this out. A 90-year-old holder of the Guinness World Record for the oldest truck driver said the word retire not in his vocabulary. His name's Doyle Archer, and he's worked for a company for 20 years. He's certified as the world's oldest truck driver at the age of 90 years old. Archer has been driving trucks for more than 60 years, racking up approximately 5.5 million miles behind the wheel. Archer has told the Guinness World Records that as long as he has good health and it holds up, he's going to keep on driving. The great-grandfather of 26 said he's going to have to haul in a semi-truck, taking them all across the country and actually sorts all kinds of different cargo as well. And have at it, man. I love hearing that. And you know, that might be what keeps him active is just the cognitive of driving. But I know that's such a big thing when you get older, but giving up that license.
A lot of people talk about how retirement isn't all it's cracked up to be because all of a sudden you've gone from working a job your entire life and filling your days with going to work and working with other people to nothing.
Right.
And there's a mental thing that plays with it.
I
that
think
a lot
what
of
we need to
folks-
do is exactly what you said, is that, okay, you got the money to take care of, but what are you going to do with that money during that time besides sit at home and watch TV all day? That's where a lot of it goes away, all that cognitive use.
And I think that, you know, there's only so much golf you can play in a day. There's only so many, mahjong groups you can join. So I think having a place to go and having a purpose outside of enjoying your free time is essential, you know, as you grow older.
Complaining, though, still very active. You're allowed to do that as much as you
Yes,
want.
especially about your lawn.
Your lawn.
That is a priority.
You've worked all of this to be able to complain. So just be happy about that too. I'm certain this guy is really happy because he's doing what he loves to do and gets to see the world. 5.5 million miles. That is nothing just to put the brakes on.
What do you think his CB handle is?
Ooh, good call. I would say old timer. I'd say old timer.
I
You
would
got
like
the
that.
old timer. Come on.
Old-timer.
Tell you what, good buddy, you stick around. We'll have more Daily Flash.
Stick around, everybody. I will have more.
10-4, good buddy.
You shake the trees, we'll rake the leaves, good buddy.
Oh, I like it. We're back right after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Halfway through the week, we're going to take care of you. Halfway through the show, we're ready to go. A Gallup poll has says that we as Americans are just stressed out. Give you some stats here. A 10-year high. 55% of adults report frequent stress. 35% globally. So 55 here in the United States. and 45% felt significant worry compared to 39% worldwide. So here in the United States, we're just stressed and worried. So there's this Savannah Collective, basically this group of people is like, all right, how can we change this? And so they went up to New York City and they installed literally punching bags all around this city. And it says like streets punching bag.
Okay.
And you're supposed to and they want you to just let out your anger when you're walking by. If you're just mad, just start punching these little bags that they have put up the poles and stuff, which might be a good idea. Maybe you keep on hearing all these people like Bethany Frankel and Steve Buscemi getting just punched in the face.
Out
these
of
ladies.
nowhere. Yeah.
Maybe that's where it's possibly coming from. Could be a good solution to it. I see nothing but in this litigious society that we live in, lawsuits. Somebody, I punched it and I broke my hand or whatever.
Oh,
But
yes.
think about that.
Yes.
That would be the only bad thing. But I think, it's also a reminder that say, hey, you know what? Let your aggression out on something inanimate rather than a real person.
I know we oftentimes bring things back to cell phone use and our complete obsession
would agree with it.
being on these things 24/7. Does that lead to the frustration? Does that lead to the anxiety, the anger?
I would say yes,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why, without going too scientific, is the fact that that is always there, so it's a relief. So when you don't have it there, or you don't have that constant engagement and stuff, anxiety kind of builds up. I would imagine that contributes to it.
What about on those bags when people start stabbing them? That's when
that's probably the
it
next
gets personal and they just start making stabby stabs or shooting them.
Yeah.
I see that as the next. Maybe they should put blood packets in there.
Something. Give it a more authentic.
Give it
Because
an
in New
idea.
York, they had to tell people to stop shooting the cyber trucks because people were walking by and shooting them. So they had to tell them to stop doing that. So
It's like that movie Idiocracy. I feel like it's coming true.
More
I
than
hate
you
to say
realize.
that, but it's like every day we get closer and closer to that.
Well, a little side note on that. Crocs.
Yes.
They were no one knew anything about them. They put them on there like, what would dumb people wear in the future? And they put them in that movie, and that's how their popularity began.
You are
My hand to the
kidding me.
heavens. Google it. I'm
Are you
serious,
serious?
Because they all wore Crocs in the movie. So check that out.
The Denver Police Department has launched a new program that will include the use of drones as a tool to help officers respond to 911 calls. The police force in the Mile High City recently saw their funding cut by millions. The department was defunded to pay for the thousands of illegal immigrants who were sent to the state. Now the department is struggling to keep up with demand and will rely on a $100,000 grant from a local police foundation to start a drone program. So in the event that a drone is sent to a 911 call, the device will be able to determine how serious the situation is and if officers need to respond.
I think it's a great idea. It also gives eyes and ears to police officers before they get there. Say, hey, we're saying a large crowd here, looks like 15 people, yada, yada. And when the police officer arrives there, they can even say, hey, look, the guy in the yellow seems to be hurt or might be the one perpetrating everything.
Yeah.
So I could see it being a great tool. This is actually where drones are actually a great thing, right?
They are, but I think we're seeing a trend now across the country, and especially in cities like Denver and Chicago, where if someone calls 911, there's no one that's able to be dispatched to take care of them in the event of an emergency.
It's actually a really good point, I'm glad you said, because we're trying to think like, is it a Band-Aid to the problem? Or you're actually fixing the problem? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they need funding for that sort of thing.
And they use drones here in Florida. They can be extremely effective. So I think if it's an added tool to your program, great. But if you're relying on that to respond to 911 calls,
that's one of the fastest things I ever saw is snapped up on Shark Tank was this woman who was putting together. No, this was 5 years ago.
Sure.
A company where she was going to go around to municipalities and teach them how to use their drones for fires, for police departments, for surveying. Mark Cuban's like, buying it. I'll buy the whole company right now. Let me buy it, because he saw the value in that coming up.
It makes sense. And, it's not going to be very much longer till robots are the first responders. I'm just telling you that.
those robot dogs freak me out.
You got dogs with flame throwers, man.
They do. They literally do. You're right. We're going on the scene with Doreen. She's talking to a former American Idoler. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. It's time to get on the scene with Doreen. This week, Doreen is chatting it up with Season 4 American Idol finalist, Tony-nominated Broadway star, and a guy who just has a really cool name, Constantine Maroulis.
This week on The Scene with Doreen, I got to catch up with American Idol finalist Constantine Maroulis, who turned Broadway superstar. Check it out.
just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
I want to talk a little bit about your start because you've done so much. You made the reality TV leap, obviously with American Idol.
It was madness back then, right? It was like the whole
height.
world.
It was the height of American Idol.
It was wild. It was wild. I didn't really know the show. I mean, you had heard of American Idol. They had only had 3 seasons. When we were in the heart of the season, whoa! I mean, you could feel the earth shake. When 30 million people are glued into something live, like you feel. It's very intense.
You know, and I've always said the reality TV manipulates reality to the point where nothing is real. And I know that you've been vocal in the past about the creative choices the producers made during your season and even including your elimination.
You want to make the best show.
Absolutely. It's a product.
Me going home early was a great TV moment. And there was no world where anyone was gonna beat Carrie Underwood. So it all ended up how it was supposed to end up.
You know, I've heard you do so many things and just, wow, it's like that role was created for you. I know it wasn't, but it should have been.
That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you. That production of Jekyll and Hyde, we wanted to reimagine it. So we kind of did rock it out a little bit more and brought a little bit more of danger and, you know, sexy rock and roll energy to it. That was a lot of fun for sure.
Sexy rock and roll energy. I think that sums you up. I think if you ever had to put something on a business card, I think that should be what you put on there. Did you feel when you went from that American Idol crowd to cross over to Broadway, did you ever feel that community, the theater community, did a little bit of a pushback on you? Because
I wasn't like, boom, I'm on Broadway stunt cast in like a lead, like the Phantom.
Right,
I was trying to earn my way up there. And then, you know, when it was time to do Rock of Ages, I loved this idea. I remember my first meeting, they played me a mixtape. I kind of loved this. I grew up in the MTV era. Like the videos were a story, you know, these songs were a story. This totally works. We dominated, and it became this global, you know, worldwide like brand, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
Keep doing it. Keep bringing the gift, my friend. You like I said, you're performing right now. Anyone in the New York City area through August 1st, Cutting Room, New York City, Broadway Sings Queen. Perfect for you. Hello.
I love it. And I got a bunch of dates in the on the East Coast and Northeast. If you go to the website, entrepreneurship.com, and I hope to see you at a show real soon. And yes, absolutely, we'll be back. And thank you for this awesome time. I love the show.
It was so much fun catching up with Constantine Maroulis. He has so much more left in him to give, and I can't wait to see what he's got next. And if you want to hear the full interview, visit right here. And until next week, I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash. Catch you next time.
Now that most schools are out for summer, it means more free time for the kids, and many parents want to make sure that they make the most of their time off with new ways to improve their mental and physical wellness. Here's the lead trainer for Planet Fitness, Teddy Savage, with more.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to announce that Planet Fitness is launching our 4th high school summer pass program, where we're opening our doors to teenagers between the ages of 14 to 19 all summer long, all the way until August the 31st. And we're really trying to promote the connection between mental health and physical fitness. With this being our 4th installment to date, we've invested more than $200 million in Wave membership dues to really help our teenagers promote healthy habits as they move along and grow in their bodies. At Planet Fitness, we wanted to understand truly why this was important to our teenagers, so we launched a national study. And what we found is that 94% of teenagers are struggling with both emotional and mental health, where 72% are feeling a bit more self-conscious and 43% are struggling with having a positive body image. But on the good side, what we've also found is that of teenagers that work out, 63% feel better about themselves after a great workout, and 59% confess that it gives them a mood boost and an energy enhancement. And that's what High School Summer Pass is all about. To register, all you've got to do is go to planetfitness.com/summer pass, or better yet, download the free Planet Fitness app. There you can not only register, but also get access to workouts we designed specifically for our high schoolers for High School Summer Pass. And that's going to be anywhere from strength, cardio, mobility, flexibility, anything you can think of, it's going to be right there. So stop on into a Planet Fitness location that's 2,500 plus and start High School Summer Pass right now and enjoy the access of a non-intimidating environment all the way until August the 31st. We can't wait to see you guys this summer. Have a great and healthy start.
Summer travel season's here. Preparing your travels is important, whether flying or driving to your destination. Travel expert Laura Begley-Bloom joins us today with some essential tools for your summer adventures.
Let's start with road trips. If you are driving to your summer vacation destination, you need to make sure your car is going to get you there safely. Start with a good vehicle inspection. Get an oil change, check your tire pressure, switch out those windshield wipers, fill the brake fluid, and check the brake pads. You don't want to lose those brakes on a long, winding mountain road. Remember, brakes that squeak, grind, or pull indicate that at least one component needs replacing. I recommend Napa Silent Guard brake pads. They are designed to be quieter and wear better over time. The technology also guarantees smooth braking and noise dampening that lasts, plus a limited lifetime warranty backs it up. For more information, visit Napa online or your local Napa Auto Care location or parts store. One of my favorite travel tips is to print out your travel itineraries and tickets. I travel all over the world for my job, and I always do this because you never know when you will be somewhere without Wi-Fi. And what happens if your phone isn't working? I'm always prepared with a print backup. That's why I'm really excited about the HP All-In plan. It includes a brand new printer, ink delivered so you never run out, and dedicated 24/7 customer service starting at just $6.99 a month. Another great thing is that when I return from my trip, I can seamlessly print any photos too. Instant keepsakes. Now let's return to road trips. Inflation has increased auto insurance by more than 20% over the last year, so you need the right auto insurance for your travels and the long term at a reasonable price. The place to go is Experian. Most people think this is where you only get your credit score. They have launched the Experian Insurance Marketplace, which can help you potentially save money on auto insurance. They have taken the hassle out of the process and on average save consumers more than $800 annually by presenting potentially better rates from over 40 top providers in minutes. And a note that results can vary and some people may not see savings, but this is a great place to start if you want to save money on your car insurance. For more info, go to napaonline.com, hp.com, and experian.com/insurance.
Many pet owners struggle with the reality of their furry friends aging. Joining us to discuss why it's important to embrace, not fear, this natural process and how proper nutrition is Hill's pet nutrition veterinarian and senior pet advocate, Dr. Stacy Bone. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Bone.
We need to be mindful that as we go into this senior stage, that their nutrition needs are changing, and we need to think about putting them on a diet that's is formulated specifically for senior pets. My absolute favorite is Hill's Science Diet Senior Vitality. It is an amazing pet food, and it's formulated for senior pets. So they control the minerals, which is good for the heart, good for the kidneys. It's got your omega-6s in there, which are great for skin health, vitamin E. It's great for cognitive enhancement. But my favorite thing about the diet is it actually has clinical research that shows when pet owners fed it to their pets, their senior pets, they saw improved vitality in as little as 28 days. So head over to hillspet.com. You can type in senior care and it's going to give you so much information. Things on senior care tips, on bringing home a senior adoption, and on senior pet nutrition.
Hey, what are you grabbing from the dairy aisle? Find out how both dairy and non-dairy staples are stacking up.
June is National Dairy Month, the perfect time to celebrate variety in the dairy aisle. Here's chef and TV personality Jamie Gwen with more.
The dairy aisle has always been an American staple, stocking essentials like milk, butter, and cheese. And over the years, it's also grown and elevated. Now, alongside traditional dairy, you'll find popular alternatives like non-dairy cheese, creamers, and refrigerated doughs. Not to mention a variety of plant-based milks, including almond, coconut, oat, and soy.
A recent survey by the National Frozen and Refrigerated Foods Association revealed that 61% of U.S. adults are buying both dairy and non-dairy products.
Looking for new recipes? Try my breakfast grilled cheese sandwiches. Layer your English muffin with a blend of cream cheese, cottage cheese, and your favorite jam, then toast in brown butter. It is a simply delicious way to start your morning.
For more recipes, visit easyhomemeals.com.
We love for you to be a part of our show. Our website, dailyflashshow.com, it's open 24/7, 365. We welcome your feedback, and we want you to get in on some of the stories we're discussing because we would love to hear your take.
You know, if you say, oh, I missed the show today, don't worry. It's sitting there waiting for you, as well as past shows as well. All the different franchises that we have, all waiting there for you. And as Jackson says, we love hearing from you. You can click a button, boom, it sends us an email. All you have to do is just type on your little computer, dailyflashshow.com. There you'll find all the good stuff and, of course, links and so much more. We'd love to hear from you for sure.
Yeah, join the conversation. You can sound off. And don't forget, head to YouTube, like, and subscribe our YouTube channel.
This is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites, and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
It's kind of freaky. That dude freaks us out.
A little
he
bit,
freaks us
yeah.
out just a little bit. Hey, welcome back to the big show. As we wrap up the show here, I got to say a big thank you and hello to our friends in Panama City, Florida, especially at our affiliate WMBB TV there. Past month, I was able to do the weather from up there with Chris Marchand and Kelsey Peck and Jared Sellers, who was helping me out. He was he kind of showed me the weather computers and that sort of thing. It's all new. And so, you know, I've done weather prior to that. For a good 20 years. And the number one thing they teach you, the first thing, day one when you walk in, it's your outfits. And just like every day, what you have on and what I have on, this is fine here. I totally forgot about it. I go into work, I go in to start doing the weather, and I realize I have a green tie on. I go,
You
I
forgot about the
forgot.
chroma key.
It didn't even cross my mind. And I'd been there like several days, and I go, I can't wear this. And I'm like, oh my, and the show's about to start. I'm freaking out. I was like, well, I can do it from the Weather Center. Anyway, Ethan, I called him the intrepid reporter. He's like, no, I got you, Mitch. And they went, he gave me a new tie and everything I was able to wear. But it was one of those rookie mistakes. I was like, these guys probably think I'm just an idiot. But it's just one of those things I didn't even think about.
And for viewers at home, most the meteorologists, the weather forecasters will stand in front of what looks like a green screen so that the maps can look like they're right behind them. So if you are standing in front of the green screen, you can't wear anything green, otherwise it disappears.
So, and thank you for explaining that, because even I say green screen, everybody knows, I think everybody knows what it means. I even think like, just don't do that. And I felt like the biggest idiot. Anyway, everybody there at that station was completely just so professional. Again, WMBB and Panama City, we're on the show. Daily Flash is, of course, on Panama City CW there as well.
Some of the best beaches I've ever been to in the Panhandle of Florida.
WMBB TV, world's most beautiful beaches. That's what WMBB stands for. Isn't that great?
So true.
Yeah, it was so nice being there.
I bet it was.
So nice to have you along as well. Y'all take care. We'll see when we
everybody.
look at you. Bye-bye.